How's it going, Jacktackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be ranking all 5 seasons of Better Call Saul that we have so far. So, without further ado, let's just get on into this. So at number 5, I have Season 2. Now, I want to mention beforehand that all of these seasons are near perfection, really. With a show like Better Call Saul, it's very hard to sort of pick out which season and which episodes you like over others. But season 2, I'm gonna have to say, is my least favorite season. But yeah, still a phenomenal season. I mean, who can forget Squat Cobbler? That whole scene was fucking crazy and just funny as hell. We also had the stuff with Tuco and Mike and their battle or brawl, I guess you could say. That was pretty cool. And then, Hector Salamanca getting introduced from Breaking Bad while he's, not in the wheelchair and he actually can talk and move around and stuff. So it was just awesome to see him back in the swing of things. And, also the Salamanca brothers, they weren't really in it that much, but they did make an appearance. I do think that the Jimmy, making commercials, and that was sort of fun too to see, with his little gang. However, there's some boring stuff in here, seeing, Kim just sort of working in the filing room. It's not that interesting, and I understand that Better Call Saul is a very different, I guess you could say, pacing and overall tone from Breaking Bad. It's very different with how the story is structured, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But if I'm being honest, I wouldn't want to watch some of the more boring aspects of this season over some of the more exciting stuff in the later seasons. So season 2 is my least favorite. But yeah, moving on to number 4, I have season 1. Now, this is kind of like a magical experience watching season 1 after you've watched Breaking Bad. You have sort of an introduction back into this world, this universe, the Breaking Bad universe, and it's just very interesting to see the beginning of Saul Goodman and where he started off, and the introduction to the cartel and etc. Like it's very interesting to see where they were at the very beginning, and seeing the flashbacks of Jimmy's life and even the stuff with Mike, killing those cops that killed his son. Actually seeing that, which we actually heard him speak about in the Breaking Bad series. So seeing it was just very interesting, and you have the Tuco stuff at the beginning when he brings Saul and those two other skateboarders out into the desert, and it's just crazy. And Slip and Jimmy shenanigans, especially in these earlier seasons. Saul was definitely more, or Jimmy was more of a con man. Definitely, Slip and Jimmy, that whole sort of thing, pulling tricks on people, scamming people, that whole sort of thing. And the main fault of this season, there's some boring stuff here and there, and I don't think it's as just great as these other seasons. However, season 1 is still a magnificent ride. Moving on to season 3. This is a great season, and this for me is when I started to really get into Better Call Saul. Again, first 2 seasons were good. However, season 3 really just kind of raised the bar, in my opinion. You have the introduction of Gus and Los Pollos Hermanos and all that mess, and Lydia, Madrigal, and then, I think it has a very interesting story this season, especially coming off of the cliffhanger of season 2. You have Jimmy being in trouble with, making the fake documents and, editing them, and, Chuck and all that stuff, and how he ultimately ends up by the end of this season where we see him kick the lantern off the table. And the way this season ends is just, it's a crazy moment in the series. And, we also get to see some pretty exciting, well, I don't know if they're exciting, but interesting moments. I feel like I keep saying that, but, it's the truth. How Hector, got his stroke, and, how he got into the wheelchair. We saw more of that in season 4, but, we saw how Nacho switched his pills, his heart pills, and that was a super intense scene. My God, I remember that. And overall, man, this season really raised the bar and made me like Better Call Saul a lot more than I had previously. Now moving on to season 4. In my opinion, this one actually had the best opener, flash forwards that is. I thought it was just super intense, and I remember watching that, and I was like on the edge of my seat when he's in the cab, and the guy, you see the New Mexico thing sign, whatever the hell it was, in the car, and you see his eyes in the rear view mirror, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on? And it's just super awesome. So I think the opener for this season was probably the best. Season five's opener was fantastic as well. I mean, they're all really great, let's be honest. Those are the things that I look forward to the most in the season, I'll be honest, just to see, like, the aftermath of Breaking Bad. I'm always more into sequels of things rather than prequels, just to see, like, how the story continues, where characters ended up, and that whole sort of dynamic. And we also have this season Jimmy kind of dealing with Chuck's death, especially in that premiere. Chuck went up in smoke. And then we also have a Gale cameo. That was pretty funny. And we have the stuff with Huel. I don't know if he was actually in the previous seasons. He might have been, but I don't remember. But I do know that, he was getting in some hot water this season. And, Jimmy had to go on the bus and sort of make all those fake letters and make Huel like some sort of hero. It was so funny, dude, and just great. We also got to have the story arc with the cartel and Gus and Mike working on the underground meth lab, and those German guys. And that whole what is the name? Werner Ziegel, I don't know, something like that. Because I remember that scene Lalo in the taco shop, and he's like, Werner Ziegler. Like, I fucking, that was fucking hilarious. There's a video on YouTube of that scene, and I watched it a few days ago, and it's just like so random. And Lalo, him being in this season as well, his sort of introduction. And I remember that scene where he climbs through the rafters and like jumps down and that on that guy. It's like, what the hell is this guy? It's very awesome. And this is a fantastic season, and definitely my second favorite, but again, not my personal favorite out of all the seasons. So moving on to season 5. This is the season that just ended, and yeah, man, it's so good. I already did a review for season 5, so I'm not going to talk about this season too long, but if you guys do want to check out that review, that is on the channel, my previous video. And season 5, man, it was just so good. It was so good, and there's so many crazy things that happened, so many intense moments, and the way the finale ended, and just that sort of cliffhanger, really, I'm so excited for season 6, which I will be doing a season 6 predictions video, so stay tuned for that as well. But overall, season 5 was just great, and I had such a fun time with it, as I'm sure many of you did as well. And yeah, it was fantastic. So that's my ranking. So hard to do. I mean, I had an idea, like, I do prefer the later seasons, like seasons 3 through 5. I like those seasons more than seasons 1 and 2. Again, seasons 1 and 2 are fantastic, and I love them. I love this series. But man, it's very hard to rank. Like, it's like ranking the Breaking Bad seasons. I've tried to do it multiple times, but it's so difficult. But I definitely wanted to do this video since season 6 is going to be coming out probably not for a while. I would assume probably at least not for another year. Someone told me in my review for season 5 that the writers have confirmed it's going to be 13 episodes. I don't know how reliable that information is. Like, I haven't seen an article, so maybe I'll check that out sometime if it actually will be 13 episodes. If so, that would be great. So I'm just going to assume season 6 is probably not going to be coming out for a little bit, like at least a year. And they're probably going to divide the season up, if I had to imagine, similar to Breaking Bad. So, maybe they'll do, I mean, you can't really divide 13 even. It'd be like maybe 5 episodes and then 6 episodes, or 7 episodes, excuse me. So yeah, maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to see. And I'm just realizing my math is off. I'm so dumb. It'd be like 5, maybe 6 episodes and then 7 episodes. That's what I meant to say. God, I'm an idiot. Forget that ever happened. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the hell up before I make myself more of a fool. Anyway, guys, let me hear your rankings down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this series. Which are your favorite episodes? What is your favorite season? Who's your favorite character? That whole sort of thing. Yeah, leave me your rankings down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boop.